Hi, Christy.
Sorry I'm late.
That's okay.
We had to do some couch repairs. The cat got in under the couch and tore it all apart.
I've had that experience before.
Yeah, that's in the cat-free zone too.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Nanette Kennedy. I am with Humanities Team in the Evolution Revolution. We are reading Friendship with God, and we're going to read part of it again this week so we can have a fruitful discussion. And Linda, you said 287 or 247?
287. I'm actually, I'm going to start with the last paragraph that Neil speaks.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. So this is Neil speaking. I guess what I'm asking is, how do you find joy inside yourself? Isn't this idea of finding joy by bringing joy to others a little dangerous? Isn't it a bit of a trap? Couldn't it lead to the creation of little martyrs, people who feel that the only way they can deserve happiness is to make others happy? Those are good questions. Those are very good observations and good questions. Thank you. So what are the answers? First, let's clarify something. There is no time that you are ever alone. I am always with you, and you are always with me. That's number one. And it's an important place to begin because it changes everything. If you think that you are really alone, it could be devastating. Just the thought of total aloneness itself, without anything else going on, could be devastating. That's because the very nature of the soul is unity and oneness with all that is. And if it appears that there is nothing and no one else, then an individual could feel just that, individual, and not one with anything at all. And that would be devastating because it violates your deepest sense of who you are. So it's important to understand that, in fact, you are never alone, and that aloneness is impossible. People who have been prisoners of war in solitary confinement, or shut-ins who've suffered debilitating strokes and are trapped in their own minds, might disagree with you. I know I'm using extreme examples, but I'm saying that there are cases where aloneness could very much be possible. You can create the illusion of aloneness, yet the experience of something does not make it a reality. I am always with you, whether you know it or not. Yet if we don't know it, then you might as well not be with us, because the effect for us is the same. I agree. Therefore, to change the effect, know that I am with you always, even unto the end of time. How can I know this if I don't know it? Do you understand the question? Yes. And the answer is that it is possible for you to know and yet not know that you know. Oh, could you explain that further, please? In life, there appear to be those who do not know, and who know that they do not know. They are children. Nurture them. Then there appear to be those who do not know, and who know that they do not know, and they are willing. Teach them. Then there appear to be those who do not know, but who think they know. They are dangerous. Avoid them. And then there are people who appear to know, but who do not know that they know. They are asleep. Wake them. Then there appear to be those who know, but who pretend they do not know. They are actors. Enjoy them. Then there There appear to be those who know and who know that they know. Do not follow them, for if they know, they would not have you follow them. Yet listen very carefully to what they say, for they will remind you of what you know. Indeed, that is why they have been sent to you. That is why you have called them to you. I don't get it. If a person knows, why would he pretend that he does not know? Who would do that? Nearly everybody. At one time or another, nearly everybody. But why? Because you all love the drama so much. You have created an entire world of your illusion, a kingdom in which you can reign, and you have become the drama king and the drama queen. Why would I want drama rather than the end to drama? Because it is in the deliciousness of the drama that you get to play it out at the highest level and with the greatest intensity, all the various versions of who you are, and may then select who you be because it is juicy. You're kidding. Isn't there an easier way? Well, of course there is. And you will ultimately choose that the moment you realize that all the drama isn't necessary. Yet sometimes you will continue to use drama to remind yourself and to instruct others. All wisdom teachers do this. What are they reminding and instructing about? The illusion. They are reminding themselves and instructing others that all of life is an illusion, that it has a purpose, and that once you know its purpose, you can live within the illusion or outside of it at will. You can choose the experience to experience the illusion and make it real, or you can choose to experience ultimate reality in any given moment. How can I experience ultimate reality in any particular moment? Be still and know that I am God. I mean that literally. Be still. That is how you will know that I am God and that I am always with you. That is how you will know that you are one with me. That is how you will meet the Creator inside of you. If you have come to know me, to trust me, to love me, and to embrace me, if you have taken the steps to having a friendship with God, then you will never doubt that I am with you always and all ways. So, as I have said before, embrace me. Spend a few moments of each day embracing your experience of me. Do this now when you do not have to, when life circumstances do not seem to require you to. Now, when you are not feeling alone, so that when you are alone, you will know that you are not. Cultivate the habit of joining me in divine connection once each day. I've already given you the directions on one way you may do this. There are many other ways, many ways. God is not limited, and neither are the ways to reach God. Once you have truly embraced God, once you have made that divine connection, you will never want to lose it, for it will bring you the greatest joy you ever had. This joy is what I am and what you are. It is life itself, expressing at the highest vibration. It is supra-consciousness. It is the level of privation that creation occurs. Hang on, I need to cough. You might even say it's creation vibration. Yes, it is. That it is exactly. But I thought that joy was something that you could only feel when you were giving it away. How can you feel joy if you are simply being alone with yourself, connecting only with the God within? Only? Did you say only? I tell you, you are connecting with all that is. You are not being alone with yourself, and you never can be. It's not possible. And when you actually feel your eternal connection with the God within, you are giving away joy. You're giving it to me. For my joy is to be one with you. And my greatest joy is for you to know it. So I bring joy to you when I let you bring joy to me. Has there ever been a more perfect description of love? No. And is love not what God is? What we are? Yes. Good. Very good. You're putting it all together now. You're getting it. You are preparing again, as you have been doing for so much of your life. You are a messenger. You and many others like you who are coming to these same understandings with you, some through this dialogue, some in ways uniquely their own, all toward the same end, to no longer be a seeker, but a bringer of the light. Soon you will speak with one voice. The role of messenger is given to everyone in truth. You all send a message to the world about life and how it is, and about God. What is the message you have been sending? What is the message you now choose to send? Is it time for a new gospel? Yes. Yes, it is. But I sometimes feel so alone in this. Even as I accept the truth that I am never really alone, I wonder, how does that change things when I feel alone? If I'm feeling all alone and I'm not feeling very much joy, what do I do? What you can do if you are imagining that you are alone is to come to me. Come to me in the depths of your soul. Talk to me from your heart. Companion with me in your mind. I will be with you and you will know it. If you have been making daily contact with me, this will be easier. Yet even if you have not, I will not fail you, but be with you the moment you call to me. For this is my promise. Even before you call my name, I will be there. That is because I am always there, and your very decision to call my name merely elevates your awareness of me. Once you are aware of me, your sadness will leave you. For sadness and God cannot exist in the same place, because God is life energy turned up as high as it will go, and sadness is life energy turned down. Therefore, when I come to you, do not turn me down. Wow. Oh, wow, that's amazing. There you go again, putting things in amazing ways so that we can get them. But I don't think people do that, do they? I don't think people actually turn you down. Every time you have a hunch about something and you ignore it, you turn me down. Every time you receive an offer to put an end to bad feelings or cease a conflict and you ignore it, you turn me down. Every time you do not smile, return the smile up to a stranger, you walk under the awesome wonder of the night sky and you don't look up, You pass a flower bed without stopping to behold the beauty. You turn me down. Every time you hear my voice or feel the presence of a departed loved one, and to say that it's your imagination, you turn me down. Every time you feel love for another in your soul, or you feel a song in your heart, or see a grand vision in your mind, and you do nothing about it, you turn me down. Every time you find yourself reading just the right book, hearing just the right sermon, watching just the right movie, or running into just the right friend at just the right time in your life, and you write it off to coincidence or serendipity or luck, you turn me down. And I tell you this, before the cock crows 3 times, some of you will deny me. Well, not me. I will never deny you again, nor will I ever turn you down when you invite me to experience communion with you. That invitation is continual and everlasting. And more humans are feeling this life energy at full force and are not turning it down. You're letting the force be with you, and that is good. That is very good. For as you move into the next millennium, you will plant the seeds of the greatest growth the world has ever seen. You have grown in your science and in your technologies, yet now you will grow in your consciousness. And this will be the greatest growth of all, making all the rest of your advances look insignificant by comparison. The 21st century will be the time of awakening, of meeting the Creator within. Many blessings will experience, many beings will experience oneness with God and all of life. This will be the beginning of the golden age of the new human, of which it has been written, the time of the universal human, which has been eloquently described by those with deep insight among you. There are many such people in the world now, teachers and messengers, masters and visionaries, who are placing this vision before humankind and offering tools with which to create it. These messengers and visionaries are the heralds of a new age. You may choose to be one of them. You, to whom this message is now being sent, you who are reading this right now. Many are called, but few choose themselves. What is your choice? Shall we speak now with one voice? To say the same thing, we must all know the same thing. Yet you have just said that there are those who do not know. I'm confused. I did not say that there are those who do not know. I said there appear to be those who do not know, yet judge not by appearances. All of you know everything. No one is sent to this life without the knowing. That is because you are the knowing. The knowing is what you are. Yet you have forgotten who and what you are in order that you might create it again. This is the process of recreation, which we have spoken now many times. Book 1 of the Conversations of God trilogy explains this all in wonderful detail, as you are aware, and so it appears that you do not know. In wholly accurate terms, it would be said that you do not remember. There are those who do not remember, and they do not remember that they have not remembered. There are those who do not remember, but they remember that they are not remembering. There are those who do not remember, but they think they have remembered. There are those who remember, but do not remember that they've remembered. There are those who remember, but pretend that they have not remembered. And there are those who remember and remember that they've remembered. Those who have fully remembered have become a member once again of the body of God.
Thank you, Linda. Where shall we begin? Maybe, Linda, will you read that last bit again about the remembering and
Sure.
thank you.
I did not say that there are those who do not know. I said there appear to be those who do not know. Yet judge not by appearances. All of you know everything. No one is sent into this life without the knowing. That is because you are the knowing. The knowing is what you are. Yet you have forgotten who and what you are in order that you might create it again. This is the process of recreation, of which we have spoken now many times. Book 1 of the Conversations with God trilogy explains all this in wonderful detail, as you are aware. And so it appears that you do not know. In wholly accurate terms, it would be said that you do not remember. There are those who do not remember, and they do not remember that they have not remembered. There are those who do not remember, but they remember that they're not remembering. There are those who do not remember, but they think they have remembered. There are those who do not remember, but who do not remember they've remembered. There are those who remember, but pretend they have not remembered. And there are those who remember and remember they've remembered. Those who have fully remembered have become a member once again of the body of God. So I think what might be helpful would be to go through each of these remembers and try to think of someone that we can describe, that's being described.
Yep.
Can we think of people that fall into these categories?
Well,
So a false prophet would be the one who says, it's like the fourth one down, there are those who do not remember, but they think they have remembered. That would be a false prophet. That would be one of the people he said not to follow.
which one again?
The one, there are those who do not remember, but they think they have remembered.
Am I on?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't know. I wanted to just make a quick comment about what I wrote to sum up this chapter. I don't know if it helps, but what caught my eye with all this knowing and remembering is basically judge not by appearances. Remember the love. To know is to love, and to love is to know. Over.
That's good. It's interesting that you brought that in just now, because the one that Linda just reread,
Mm-hmm.
there are those who remember but do not remember that they've. Is that the one you read, Linda?
No, it's the one there are those who do not remember, but they think they have remembered.
Okay. Well, and it's hard to do this without judgment, because
Right.
it makes me think of the president.
Right.
Well, I don't that connection, but okay.
Can we think of somebody that fits into there are those who remember but pretend they have not remembered?
Yes, my brother. Because my brother's so angry at me and holding on to so many things from everything that he ever thinks that I did wrong, that it's all out of context. And what he doesn't remember is he doesn't remember the love. His anger is so strong that it stands between seeing what the truth is, seeing what's real, and seeing his judgments. I think that could be, other people could identify other people in that. Someone whose judgments outweigh anything that they know, that they remember, but they don't want to remember. Well, anyway, I think I said it already. The concept of someone who holds those kinds of opinions of you, and yet underneath it all, you're not remembering that really what's there is the love between the two of you, and that's all that really exists and is important and matters. All that other stuff is just judged not by appearances, because everybody sees things differently. Nobody sees things the same way, else there wouldn't be arguments.
For me,
Or
we were-
discussions. All right, over.
For me, we were talking about this yesterday in the Evolutionary Church with Barbara Marx Hubbard, and she said, like, you know, what is it that's standing in the way? And we identified things like fear and unworthiness and judgment and just, you know, the conditioning of humanity begins so early, and then, you know, like it's when you're that innocent and that vulnerable, you take on these effects, right? Like you just do, and you believe that there's something wrong with you, and then, you know, we're not taught to see ourselves as unique expressions of divinity, and for that, humanity has my deep, deep, deep compassion.
I'm still hung up on the issue of them pretending that they've not remembered. There are those who remember but pretend they have not remembered.
Well, wouldn't they be the people that just decide that it's easier to maintain the status quo than, you know, speak what's in their heart? I don't know.
Yeah,
It refers to actors, right? Acting like they know, but they don't know.
Well, if it's there, or those who remember,
Right,
but pretend they have not remembered.
right.
And I'll give a really concrete example.
Okay.
Back when Sarah Palin was running for vice president,
Yep.
she would say things like, I go to church on Sunday and we pray for the hungry, the homeless, anybody who's got those kinds of issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then Monday, she would get to the podium when she was, you know, running for the vice president. And she would say things, well, no, I'm not for feeding the hungry. feeding the homeless or helping the homeless.
Yeah. Pretend.
So on Sunday, she remembers,
Right.
and on
Mhm.
Monday, she pretends that she hasn't remembered.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a great example.
Let me jump back to page 288 and read the first time where he goes through this, where he calls some actors and that kind of stuff, because maybe it'll help.
Yep.
So in life, this is God speaking. In life, there appear to be those who do not know, and who do not know that they do not know. They are children, nurture them. Then there appear to be those who do not know, and who know they do not know. They are willing, teach them. Then there appear to be those who do not know, but who think they know.
Right.
They are dangerous. Avoid them. See, that's why I was saying false prophet. Then there are those who know, but who do not know that they know. They are asleep. Wake them. Then there appear to be those who know, but who pretend that they do not know. They are actors. Enjoy them. So I guess that's the same as at the end. It's not the false prophet. They're the actors.
Right.
You were right, Christian. Then there appear to be those who know, and who know that they know. Do not follow them. For if they know that they know, they would not have you follow them. Yet listen very carefully to what they have to say, for they will remind you of what you know. Indeed, that is why they have been sent to you. That is why you have called them to you.
Right. Those people that you're having trouble with. Neil Donald always says that. You bring the people on that you're having trouble with, an interaction or whatever. You bring that on yourself by, I can't think of exactly how to word it, but the people that you often have trouble with or befriending or difficulty with, these ones you have to deal with before you can grow further, because you have to deal with that situation. It was difficult, or I'm not wording that correctly, but they come into your life for a reason, even if it's difficult.
Right.
Exactly.
Because you have to overcome that issue. Or whatever it is.
I think another way that I see it is that sometimes a situation happens, and if that situation didn't happen, then you wouldn't have the insights or the experience or the learning or whatever that
Right.
situation brought you. So even if something is horrible or something's very good,
Right.
still you wouldn't have that experience had you not had the experience that brought that experience to you. So
Right.
that every experience in some way is valid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that helps over.
Yeah, that did.
Okay. Like for instance, and I'm not where we bring these experiences towards us. I lost my page.
Wait, where's number
What's that page again that we just read from?
288, was it?
238
hang
or
on.
236.
236?
I think so, or 238.
No, that's in a Kindle or something. That's not
288.
288.
Okay, I'm back there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this stuff too.
No, it's really hard. I've read it, read it twice now. I did quote this on Facebook too, the remembering part.
Well, I'm going to throw this out there, and you guys can tell me if I'm losing my last marble. But that paragraph that says, then there appear to be those who know, and who know that they know, do not follow them. And that last sentence that says, indeed, that is why they have been sent to you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going to throw it out there because I can't wrap my head around it. Help.
Try.
Well, I think it was Anne who said, that whether there's pain or joy or whatever, that everything happens with purpose. And I was thinking, I don't know why this popped in my head, but I was thinking about when I was 8 years old and my father died. And I remember thinking, how awful, how awful, how awful. I mean, I thought that for a long time. And then my mother remarried, and I had 2 additional new siblings, where my life, even though I missed the, out of my father, I couldn't. I think that's why you've called them to you. I don't know that I called my father to go die, but when I think about weighing out if things had been different, there's so much I would have lost. So anyway, that's what I was going to throw out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, and that's having divine faith, Nanette, that that you're a unique expression of divinity, and no matter what comes at us, the whole of humanity is, as a union and as a family, we're spectacularly dysfunctional because of our conditioning. And you have to just, for me, I just have to keep coming into this now moment and thank the past and bless the past and let it go.
Yep, thank you.
Why does God or Neil say, do not follow them?
Because a true leader, a true spiritual leader does not want followers. Wants to share and to give, and knowing that giving and receiving are one and the same thing. So, a true leader just wants to share their beingness with the world and thus fulfill their destiny.
That's the same thing that Jesus said.
Exactly.
Jesus didn't want followers.
That's what he said. Yeah, that's true. The Bible says.
And that's the whole point, is that each of us is an individuated expression of divinity. We are no different than Jesus was.
Exactly.
He was awake. He was awake, and to the degree that we awaken, we can be as he was. It's all it takes.
Shaken.
And you learn it all very young. Like, you learn it all in Brownies and Scouts. Like, be an example. That's what a leader is an example.
Right.
Not somebody that craves attention or, has to be praised, but just as an example of how to be loving and kind towards yourself and all of life.
I think for me, what this is teaching me is that we need to speak to different people differently about conversations with God, depending on what they're able to receive. Some people, you can just say, read it and you'll just know. and some people won't even read it, and because people are at different levels. And it's, to me, this passage is telling us to be discerning with the people we talk to about conversations with God.
It's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's teaching us universally to be discerning. You know, and there's a American television show that Oprah Winfrey is the producer of, and she's actually in it. And it's about,
The Voice.
is it the real wealthy televangelist, the evangel, I can't even say the word.
Evangelical.
Anyway, one of the things that happens a lot in that show is these people have studied theology, they've been to seminaries, they've done these things, and they have these moments that they know, but then some sort of crisis will come up, and they won't act the way they want to act. They, something in reality throws them off their track. And so I think about, they know that they know, but they also have crises where then they kind of bounce back and forth, and maybe I don't know.
Well, and that, isn't that true? A reaction to something instead of a response to something is something from the past. So we all get caught in that. Let's be kind
Right.
and compassionate towards ourselves.
Yeah, and this really, this ties right into something else that got said. So Neil says, if a person knows, why would he pretend that he does not know? Who would do that? And God says, nearly everybody. At one time or another, nearly everybody. But why? And so God says, because you all love the drama so much.
Right.
You have created an entire world of your illusion, a kingdom in which you can reign. And you have become the drama king and the drama queen. And that comes back to what I like to touch on every once in a while, is this idea that ultimately what we're here in form to experience is each other, it's community, and it's really peace on earth. But the thing is, the reason that it's so hard to create peace on earth is because we are so embroiled in the drama. And that's the non-remembered self. That's the disembodied selves that are running around on the planet thinking that this illusion that we're in is what's the real thing, and that's not the real thing. And so the drama and that energy of the drama, just, it takes over. And that's what's happened, I feel like, is that it's really taken over the planet. And so there are those of us that are awake, walking around going, hey, guys, whoa, this is not, no. And we can't get anybody's attention, or we can't get the majority of people's attention, because they're all caught up in this drama that they're living.
I agree.
So learning how to speak to them, like what Sarah was saying, we have to figure out, okay, this one, like being able to identify, okay, this one's completely asleep. Well, there may not be any point in even trying to talk to somebody who's completely asleep. Like, better to go spend your time somewhere where there's someone who's willing, as Neil and God were saying here. Find the ones that are willing.
And just follow your heart. We've been
Right.
so conditioned to think that the mind is the way to go, but the truth is, it's the heart that needs to be in charge, especially time right now. There's just, the mind has been in a managerial position for far too long, and it needs to surrender.
That's the way to put it.
The innocent heart. Yeah, it does, inside the temple of your being. And I say that prayer daily, at least once.
Wow.
I was thinking of something which is the propaganda on TV or the media, where wealth is idolized and anyone who's made a buck is considered the greatest hero, that the race is on to consume or to beat the system or something. I think you've got shows like that in the UK or the US, right? Like
Yeah.
either you win something or you just come out on top by just beating someone either by guessing or expertise or something, but the idea is to be on top of the pile, on top of the pyramid. Now, I've never gotten any joy out of watching them, and I was wondering why. And I think Christine summarized it. And, you know, who was it that spoke about the girl guides or, you know?
That was me.
Yeah. Well, the idea is that it's a matter of values which are being elevated in the collective. And it saddens me that the values are mind and not heart ones. And yet I have no idea how to stop it, because it's the ratings, it's the advertising, it's the consumer culture that feeds and feeds and feeds on itself. So I can't imagine how this would end. If someone has an idea, I'd be grateful.
Well, that was a showstopper.
Yeah, really.
Um,
Doesn't she always?
I think it ends, Shabana, when children are taught from very, very early on the power of their breath. And, you know, and the value of being part of this garden of nature, this holy, sacred miracle planet. And we're part of the garden and we're subject to its call, just like everybody else, everything else. And we can fight against it and try and dominate it, or we can learn to cooperate with it. And when we surrender and learn to cooperate with the natural world, then, you know, the competition and all of those things that we hold in such high esteem will fall away naturally when we learn to just live in the natural world as part of the natural world.
It's interesting that you say the breath. I think that's, I didn't learn about my breath until a few years ago.
Yeah, I know that.
Hold breath, you know, you hold your breath so much you don't pay attention to it. I never.
Well, and we shallow breathe, and you know, there was a group of us from around the world. I guess we got together about 8 years ago, and we decided that on November the 11th, 2012, we would get 1 billion people to breathe together as one. And Rabia, my friend Rabia, traveled with Michael Beckwith all that summer, you know, but everybody was supposed to get up and breathe together as one at 11 a.m. Pacific. So, you know, people in Pakistan don't want to get up at 1 in the morning to breathe together at 11 a.m. Pacific. We did have 30,000 people on the line and the lines crashed. So we reset the date for November the 11th, 2020. We want everybody that is aware to stop and breathe together consciously for 11 minutes at 11 a.m. wherever you are. And you know, if you know, if 1 billion people did that, I believe that would be the tipping point.
Mm-hmm.
But But your breath is your best friend. It's the first thing that comes into your body when you come into this form, and it's the last thing to leave you. And children aren't taught that at all.
No, they're not. Definitely not. Nope.
And we're also belly breathers. You know, if you look at a baby is not breathing from their chest. Their chest doesn't move, their belly moves. And as we age and become more fearful, we become more and more restricted. And that's what moves our breath further and further up into our chest. Like if I go to LA and I do a talk and I ask people, one of the exercises I'll do to warm a group up is to have them just take a couple of breaths, comfortable, easy, deep breaths, and to pay attention where their body moves. And then I'll do a poll and I'll have them raise their hand. None of them will say that they're belly breathers. None of them. If there's somebody in the room that does yoga, like sometimes you'll get them like down below their chest, but almost everybody, the place that moves on their body is their chest. If they're in a place like LA or a highly densely populated area.
Yeah, I do. I'm a laughter yoga leader in the pranayama breathing, and I also do therapeutic yoga and yoga nidra, which is like a sleeping deep relaxation yoga, and it's all about your breath. You know, I go throughout my day breathing consciously. Like whenever I feel the stress response coming on, I stop, I take a moment, and I breathe until I feel calm again. Your breath really is an important tool that is really, we're not taught enough about it.
Well, see, my theory is that our spirit resides in our breath.
Well, and in many languages, that's what spirit is. It's breath, right? We are each single cell in a unified field of kind and loving presence.
Right. And that's why we don't die. It comes back to Neil's teachings of we don't die because the breath leaves the physical form and the spirit resides in the breath. Therefore, you don't die. The physical form ceases to function, but you live on.
I almost had to set my intention though every day when I first started doing breathing work is to say, pay attention to your breath, because I never did. I mean, for years, just never pay attention to it because we weren't taught, to do that. My mother would say when I get excited though, Kirsten, breathe. That's about all the attention I got from teachers or parents.
Well, in so many movies and television shows where somebody's gone through something traumatic, the person that comes to calm them says, "I want you to take a few deep breaths."
Mm-hmm.
So there's obviously a reason to do that. Shabana, you want to close us up with a little meditation?
Yep.
We thank you, God, for breath and the peace, the life, the love, which we spread with this, because that is where you live, in us, through us, and with us. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. our Sunday friends. We will talk next Sunday. And I'm glad we did this discussion this way.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I really understood it more when we did that.
Yep.
I'd still like to see the replay if you could, Nanette. I don't have my book.
I posted that last Monday.
No, for this one. For this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. No, I'll
Thank
do
you.
that. I've got family from out of town here for my brother's 60th birthday.
ooh.
So
Happy birthday, brother.
I will tell him. So I don't know that I'll get it done today because
Okay, but as soon as you can. Thanks.
no worries.
Bye, everyone.
All
Love
right.
you all.
Love you all. Thank you,
Love you all.
everybody.
Love you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Wonderful group. Wonderful group.